All right, hello everyone. Jeff Wibben here, PGA Pro and your mobile golf pro from Golf Pro Delivered. If you're watching this video, it's because you probably just got a Foresight golf simulator and you want to learn how to use FSX 2020. So today we're going to be covering all the main basics of how to use this program. We're not going to cover every exact detail, but we're going to cover pretty much everything you need to know how to navigate this software. So starting out, you see we have a 1, 2, 3 menu. This is the home screen of FSX 2020. We have the play button right here, we have compete, and we have improve. Now the first thing we're going to take a look at is the most simple thing you can do on FSX 2020, which is go to the driving range. So let's say you want to just warm up, hit some golf balls. You don't want to get into the weeds of setting up any kind of game or contest. You just want to hit some balls. Very first thing you do is go to the improve. You click on this hexagon icon and you have a few different options here. There's 5 different options. All we're going to do is click on Foresight range. If you want to mess with conditions, you can, but it already has defaults for you. We're just going to go ahead and go to the bottom right hand corner and hit start. From here, it's going to ask us to connect our device. If you're using a Foresight GC2, GC Quad, or GC Hawk, this software is going to prompt you to connect your device. If you look here in the top left hand corner, you'll see a flashing yellow icon letting you know there's no devices connected. Now for the sake of this video, I'm in my home. I don't actually have a golf simulator set up, so we're not going to connect the device. But I will get into that a little bit later. So for now, you start off on the driving range. The one thing you want to notice is here in the top left-hand corner, it says 2-pin, 374 yards. People usually mistake this right away for how far you're hitting your driver. Unless you're Bryson DeChambeau, that's just not the case. That is the target, which is way out there. This white line right here is showing you your center target line. Now, if I want to change the distance to the target out there, the Foresight range comes with a target green. I just click on this drop down arrow and I can select from one of, I believe that's 20 different yardages. Now sometimes people ask, can I pick 60 or 80, a custom yardage in here? The answer is no, you can't. But you do have all these different yardages, and when I click on one of them, like 150 for example, you'll notice it moves the target closer to your viewing area so you can practice your 150 yard shots. Now if you're like me, you probably can't see that very well. So Foresight gives you these really nice little menu options up here. In addition, this little plus icon, which allows you to add new things you can do with the home screen. But for now, I just want to show you guys my favorite view change, which is this menu icon. It stands for flyby. If I click on that, the camera defaults to showing you the whole layout. In this case, just a driving range, so it's just going straight on down. Now, what you can also do to get a better view of where you're hitting is click on the arrows. So literally on your keyboard, you have a left, right, down, and up button. Go ahead and click on up, and you'll notice that the screen will go up maybe 20, 30 feet in the air or so. Who knows? It's a golf simulator game. We don't know how high it's going. But that allows you to go up and get a better view of the layout of the hole, in this case, the driving range of where you are. So if you just want to go ahead and hit balls, I'm going to hit the space bar so we get a fake shot here. It's kind of random when you hit space bar. You never know where it's actually going to go. You'll actually see in the top left hand corner it shows you the yardage of the shot, and then on the left hand side it's going to show you your data points. So it's showing you ball speed, launch angle, push pull, which is starting line. You'll see if it's positive, meaning it's positive 0.4 degrees. That means it's starting out 0.4 degrees to the right. Showing you your backspin numbers. It's randomly generating these because I hit spacebar. Shows you carry distance, total, and then we can get into the weeds of that, but for the sake of this video, we're not going to discuss what the metrics mean fully. That'll be a different video. But that's pretty much it and all you really need to know for the basics of the driving range feature. But let's jump out of here. How to navigate Foresight FSX 2020. This top right hand button here is the command icon. So if you want to change screens or change programs, that's where you do it from. But the simplest and fastest way to get out of any program in Foresight FSX is to go ahead and click escape. When you click escape, It's going to say, do you want to quit the game or return to main menu? We're going to say yes. We want to click on exit, and it brings us back to the home screen. I could have done the same thing by clicking the command button, but the faster way again is escape. I can also click escape from here and exit out of the program entirely. Now let's check. That was improved. That's how we get to the driving range. One other feature of improve, we'll just touch on this real quickly, is if I go ahead and click new session, I can actually set up driving range mode on one of the golf courses that I have installed. So all I do is select the golf course, and I can select one of the holes. So for example, if I pick Pebble Beach number 7, the par 3, the famous one, I can pick the tee box, and what I can do is I can go ahead and hit start. And basically what this is doing in improve mode is it's kind of like you had a bucket of balls and you're going to drop a bucket of balls down on the 7th tee at Pebble Beach. So if you know you just want to work on one particular kind of shot, but you want something a little bit more scenic, you want to hit drivers on the famous 18th at Pebble Beach, or you want to hit your wedge on this hole right here, just about 100 yards, you can actually do the improve mode on the golf course. So you'll notice when I go ahead and I hit a shot, a randomly generated shot, apparently I'm not doing so good today. Definitely hit the wrong club, 167.89 yards there. Not so good. We gotta be practicing. I don't know who picked that club. But anyway, eventually that ball's gonna stop rolling underneath the water. It's gonna bring me right back to the tee box. Still rolling. It's literally going down and down and down into the Monterey Bay. Well, while we're here, I was going to say that's Carmel Highlands in the back. Again, this is the 7th hole at Pebble Beach, the farthest out point on that Monterey Bay Peninsula area. So that's all I wanted to show you with the practice mode. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Instead of hitting escape, I'm going to click the command button this time. I can just go ahead and hit exit. But you click this if you want to do a few more things. You can exit, and you can also set up devices, change settings, or change the home screen shortcuts. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here. If you click on compete, compete is for your online challenges. You can also do close to the pin and long drives for competitions against your friends. It'll keep stats if you have the online version of FSX. If you don't have the online version, it will not keep any of your data. So keep that in mind. And you can also sign up for weekly tournaments that Foresight is hosting. They're not every week necessarily, but whenever they're hosting them, you'll get emails about them, and this is where you can compete and play against people from all around the world. And they do a lot of neat challenges and give away some prizes. So that's what's going on here. Not really too much to go over. It's pretty self-explanatory in that way. We're going to go ahead and get out of there. The last thing I really want to show you guys is how to set up a round of golf. So, probably no surprise here. You go ahead and click on play. And this is where you can select foot golf. Foot golf is actually where, if you have the Foresight GC Hawk, the ceiling mounted launch monitor, you can actually kick soccer balls into the net or into the impact screen. And you can play golf courses with really large cups and kick soccer balls into those like you're playing real golf. It's pretty fun. Before we get into creating a new game, if you click on random play, your computer will randomly select a random 18 holes between all the golf courses you have activated on your FSX account. So if you have 18 golf courses, it'll probably select one hole from each of the courses and put together its own course for you. It's pretty neat. And last played, it just shows you where you were last playing. So if you want to jump back in, it's a convenient tab right there for you. But for the most part, you're going to click on play, new game. You can select from the courses that you have activated. For example, we're going to go ahead and click on Pebble Beach. Why not? Where else would we really want to go? So right here, this is showing me that the front 9 is selected and the entire back 9. You'll notice that these boxes are all highlighted, all these individual holes. Now, if I go ahead and I click on any of these holes, I'm deactivating just those holes, meaning if I don't want to play number 1, I don't want to play number 5, and I don't want to play number 9, now I can skip those and I'll start on 2. I don't know why you'd want to do that necessarily, but what most people do is they would deactivate. I can also click on front 9 or back 9 to deactivate the entire front 9 or back 9. So what most people do, let's say they only have an hour, maybe you're renting this simulator for an hour and you don't have time for all 18 holes, but you just want to pick your favorite 4 holes because that's all you have time for, I'd recommend deselecting the front 9 and the back 9 and picking your favorite holes. So if it was 4 on Pebble, I'd recommend playing something like 6, 7, maybe 17 and 18. 4 very signature holes. There's plenty of signature holes at Pebble, but those are 4 really good ones. So let's say we wanted to continue from there. Be careful right here. If I go ahead and click start, that auto defaults me right to the first tee. Doesn't allow me to add any players or change conditions or pick what rules I'm playing. You'll notice that up here, when I'm starting a game, it gives 4 tabs. Right now we're under course. It's showing it because the tab is highlighted in gray, just like the golf courses were. That's how Foresight lets you know what you're selecting. So course is our tab, and under course we're picking Pebble Beach, and we have these 4 holes selected. So if I want to move from course to conditions, I go ahead and click next. That allows me to change temperature, time of day. If you want a really cool sunset view, change it to about 4 p.m. It's pretty cool. You can change sea level. Pebble Beach is at 0, so we're going to leave that. You can even do real-time weather, which is pretty neat. Real-time weather links up with the weather station via internet of the golf course you're playing and gives you the exact weather in that location at that time and puts it on your home screen, which is pretty neat. You can also change some of the other conditions. I would suggest, if you like having a little bit more carry, or a little bit more roll, putting the ground to firm conditions. Maybe even adding a little bit more fringe bounce if you like more firm conditions, but really not a huge deal. But let's say you were real particular. Maybe you live in Colorado and you're used to 3,000 feet of elevation. You can click on Save as Defaults so that next time and every time you play, you don't have to adjust all these. It'll remember these for next time. So that's pretty much it. You can play around with these. But let's go ahead and move on to rules. So we're going to hit Next. And again, you don't have to do any of these. You can just go ahead and click Next and use the default settings that Foresight gives you. But for the sake of explaining why they give you so many options, Foresight is a great, or FSX is a great program by Foresight. They give you a lot of customization options, which is really good for coaches, for players, no matter where you are. If you like certain conditions or want to play certain things, they allow you to do that. Now for putting, this allows you to change putting mode. If you want to play very fast, go ahead and put auto putting. Select auto putting because no one putts on auto putting. It gives you a prorated score based on how close you hit it to the pin, which is actually a really neat way to score because let's say I hit a shot onto the green. I hit my 3rd shot onto the green and I hit it to 20 feet. And let's say you hit it to 10 feet. It's going to give you a slightly better score than me, a decimal point score. It'll give you like a, let's say, a 4.5, and it'll give me a 4.2 or something like, or a 4.7 or something like that. It'll give you a slightly better score than it gave me because you hit a little bit closer. And then from here, I can also pick what kind of scoring I want to play. I can do match play, scramble, Stableford, modified Stableford. I can also pick, I would recommend putting double par for stroke limit, just because if someone ever gets stuck in a bush or they get confused, they're new to golf, that'll really help them to just kind of move on and get through it if they get stuck. You can change pin placements. And then, one more thing with putting mode. If you do fast putting, if you really want to just try the putting, fast putting allows you to give it one crack, and if you miss your first putt, it's auto 2-putt. So that's not a bad way to play too. And then manual is everybody putts out all the time. And if you're not really used to putting on a simulator, I really don't recommend doing that. It takes a lot more time and it's very difficult. It takes some time to getting used to. So let's go ahead and move on to players. So we click Next. This is where we add players. It'll default you with just one player, named player 1. If you want to change the name, just like a Microsoft Word document, you go ahead and you click on that. You can backspace and you can put in your name. And you can also select what tee box. I would probably play the back tees. The back tees are always on your left. Your forward tees are always on your right. So you can select that. If you're a right-handed player, you're going to want to leave R selected. You can even enter your handicap, and you can connect to your FSX Live account if you want to save data, if you have the online license, which is pretty neat. So let's say I want to set up a foursome with my buddies. I can go ahead and click Add Player. Adds player 1, player 2, player 3. So let's go ahead and put some names in here. We'll just be real quick. John, let's put in Tim, and let's put in Max. Okay, cool. And let's say each of these guys wanted to play a different set of tees. We can do that. Let's say we've had a couple lefties in here, and let's say they were all different handicaps. So that's pretty neat. And then let's say I added an extra player by accident. So now I have a fifth player that I don't want. You can go ahead and click on this X right here and remove that player. Now let's say Tim and Max said, hey, we decided we're just going to watch. We can X them out and just play as a twosome. So that's how we go ahead and we set up our round of golf. So that took us, I don't know, anywhere from about 5 minutes probably. So again, it's asking us to connect the device. But now you'll notice it puts us right on hole number 6. It skipped 1 through 5 because we selected only 6, 7, 17, and 18. So those are the 4 holes we're going to play. All right. So now I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the most important things when you're playing around a golf, how to make this a little bit easier. Again, just like when we were on the driving range, if you can't see the hole very well, go ahead and click that up arrow so you can get a better view of the hole. You can also, if you don't see it up here, you can click plus and then flyby for a really good view of the hole. Very, very helpful if you're not sure where you're going. There's also this cool bird's eye view if you'd rather see the entire layout of the golf course from literally bird's eye way up in the sky. Pretty neat. You'll also notice that over here on the right hand side there's this mini map, which is really, really handy because as you notice as I move the mouse cursor, it's giving me 2 different numbers, one on the bottom and one on the top. The one on the bottom is telling me how far it is from my tee shot to where my arrow is. So to the end of this fairway, for example, 345 yards. That's a bomb. From there, I have 176 yards into the hole. So if you're looking at that mini map, you can see this is a great tool to know how I should plan out my shots. I might say, okay, I really want to hit something about no more than 270 because I don't want to bring the water over here into play. So I'm just going to aim out here, hit something 270, play it safe, and then from there, I'll have about 245 in. So I can either lay up about 150, something like that, or I can really go for it and hit something 250 or a little bit more. If you know Pebble Beach, that second shot is way uphill. So that's how you use the mini map. If you want to make it bigger, you can click on these double arrows. And if you want to get rid of it, you can hit hide map and just see the golf course, which is pretty neat too. Now, one thing that freaks out people sometimes, this little icon here almost looks like blinds, like pulling blinds down. Think of it like that. If I click on that by accident, I hide the entire menu bar. That can freak people out and then they're not sure how to get it back. But it stays there. It's in the top middle portion. You click that again and it brings back your entire command menu bar, which is helpful. Just to explain a little bit more what's going on the screen, it's showing you the hole right here. So we're on hole number 6, which is a par 5, index number 2, saying this is the second most difficult hole on the golf course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These numbers are telling me what shot I'm currently hitting. So this is saying I'm hitting my first shot. If I were to hit another one, it would move that cursor to 2. Over here, it's showing me my wind conditions. Right now, I have no wind. This is showing me I'm 20 feet 10 inches down to the target area, which is this little stick. Might be hard to see that out there, but that's the landing area. And it's saying that I'm hitting downhill, so it's going to factor that in, and your ball's going to go a little bit farther than it might have before. I know it's downhill because of this little down arrow. If it was up, that means I'm up 20 feet 10 inches. And then this is pretty self-explanatory. 515 to the pin, long way, it's par 5. And this is showing which player is up. So Jeff is up, that's me. And I'm currently even on the rounds. So it's the best part about the first tees, you always start out even. Had to throw in a corny joke there somewhere. So this is showing you where or this is showing you what club you're currently hitting. This is for data tracking only. It does not affect your play at all. So even if I had putter there and I'm hitting driver, it will not mess up the data. It's only for tracking if you're playing a solo round and you're connected to your FSX live account and you want to track your data over time. So you can pretty much ignore that. If you wanted to skip a hole, you go ahead and click this button. It looks like the play command on a remote control. You can skip for just the current player or for all players. This is really handy if you're running out of time, whether you're in an hourly rental or you just need to get going to your next meeting or something. That's a great way to just move the game along. And then the other thing is pretty important. If you want to see what the current score is, again, if you don't see it on here, click on scorecard. You can see what the current score of all the players are, what they've been doing each hole. You can get out of it here. You can even print it, which is pretty neat. Also, you can check the green speed and you can see the grid. So when we're actually on the green, if you want to see what the break is, go ahead and click on grid and it's going to drop a bunch of golf balls and it's going to show you the slope. It's really neat. So other than that, those are really the most important ones. So that's pretty much all you'd really need to know as far as how to navigate setting up a round of golf. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I just want to show you guys real quick one more time. So if I wanted to set up a round of golf very quickly, let's say I only had an hour to go and I wanted to get going as quick as I could, I'll show you how fast and easy this is to set up. Ready? We're going to go ahead and click on play, new game, Pebble Beach. Let's say we're going to play let's say we'll play the back nine. So I deselect front nine, go ahead and click next. I'm okay with those conditions. I'm okay with these rules, but I want to put on auto putting. And then I'm going to click next. Players, Jeff and John. Let's say we have 4. We're going to add Tim in here. And we're going to have one more player. Max is back. We're all going to play the same set of tees. We're going to take out the handicaps. And then we're going to click start. So in just about, I don't know, maybe that was 25 seconds. We're ready to go. It really doesn't take a whole lot of time. I just wanted to spend some time going through the options with you guys before so you're completely familiar with how to use FSX 2020. But that about covers it, guys. Remember that to get out of a program, you hit escape. That's the easiest way to get out of there. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, you can contact us anytime at customerservice@golfgpd.com or you can give us a call 631-681-1330. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Good luck with your golf games, everybody. Take care.